Boy, this antidepressant I'm taking is kicking my ass. I wake up tired. I take a nap in the middle of the day, and then, like a 2-3 hour nap in the middle of the day. Because, part-time employed, I can afford to spend most of my day doing absolutely nothing except what the hell I want to. But, and then I get groggy again at like 6 or 7, which is dinner time. So I have dinner, and then there's the rush of energy from the food, which keeps me up until 1 or 2, and then I go to sleep, and then the antidepressant makes me drowsy all over again in the middle of the day. So it's kicking my ass. So today is December 2nd, 2016, and yesterday I paid another visit to my recently discovered mecca, that which is BobaCon, Buy, Sell, Trade Toys. Basically toys from the late 1960s on up to today, including, new Legos, new Transformers, new Transformers, stuff like that. I think I said Transformers. There's even a few new Power Rangers, something like that. Anyway, I didn't have much time yesterday, but I did go for a little bit. And, because yesterday was actually a pretty long day. I was gone for 12 hours yesterday, so got me out of the house. Can't really complain about that. But whenever I go in there, if money was not an issue, I'd walk out the door with about half the things that are there. About half the things that are there. For example, I saw they have, they've actually got a lot of old school G.I. Joe Real American Hero, the 3.5-inch figures from back in the 80s and 90s. Is G.I. Joe in the 90s? I don't know. But anyways, they had in box, not just the box, but in the box, they had the USS Flag, which is the aircraft carrier. And I swear the box is 3 feet to a side. Like, it is that fucking big. It is a huge box. Why are you looking at the screen, Ava? Don't look at the screen. Actually, I'm going to set that right down there. Okay. So, don't get distracted there. Big box. They had a giant cardboard AT-ST. It stood about, well, it was taller than me, so it was about 8 or 9 feet tall. It was a display case because it had shelves on it, but, it's cardboard AT-ST. It's just standing out in the middle of nowhere. It was awesome. They have a giant foam, like plexiglass foam sound wave that they take with them to promote it at local conventions. The Emerald City Comic Con, for example, they've been there a couple of times. What's the black equivalent of Soundwave? It's not Shockwave. G1 Soundwave. I'm sorry, but it's painted black rather than blue. They've got Han Solo frozen in carbonite, 1/1 scale. They've got a red Wild Force Ranger, Gao Red. He's up on display as well. They have a 144 scale, not 1/100, not 160 scale, not even what. They have a 144 scale. I suppose, it would be a high grade 144 scale high grade Dendrobian Orchid, which is, well, now it's the second biggest Gunpla ever made. It's about, it's about that long. From the cannon to the vernier fins or cooling fins or whatever it is on the back. It's about that big. It's fucking huge. And that's only 144 scale. And it actually has metal skeletal structure on the inside to prevent the thing from drooping or cracking under the stress. It is that big. And then, last year in 2015, 2014, I think it was 2015, they released the 144 scale Neo Zeon, which just blows it away in terms of size and weight and cost. It was like $300 or something like that. I saw one at a hobby shop a couple of month ago, or whatever it was, and aside from the fact that I'm not a big fan of the Neo Zeon, or at least how it was portrayed in the thing, I just don't like the look of it. Like, I see what they're trying to do, mishmashing all the 1 Year War, Stardust Memory, Zeta, Double Zeta, F91? No, F91 hadn't happened yet. Basically taking all of the mobile armors the Elamith, the Absolus 3, Valvaro, the Xeon, the Alpha Zero. Basically taking the Noisiel, taking all the iconic big final boss mobile armors. There's even a bit of Psycho Gundam, Psycho Mark II mixed in there as well. Taking just kind of identifiable parts from each of those and clobbering it together into this one giant, massive mobile armor. You know, the last of the Xeon mobile armors is basically what the Neo Xeon is. I don't want it. Yeah, the 144 scale Dendrobian Orchid. It's like $200, $300, something like that. I mean, it is secondhand, but presumably the whole thing is there. Oh, they also have an MSIA Dendrobian Orchid as well, which is pretty much the same size, if you think about it. Actually, it's a little smaller. I think, well, MSIAs are... They're not 1/550 scale. I can't remember how big they are. But they also have one of those. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you what. I'm talking about those because they're way too expensive for me right now. I can't get anywhere near those, so that's why I'm not afraid to talk about them, because if they're too expensive for me, chances are they're too expensive for you. Bleh. Why did I do that? They also have, you know, the problem with trying to get your hands on a deluxe Ninjor secondhand is every single version of him comes without the sword. It's the one thing that's always missing. It's the one thing that broke really easily, that gets lost really easily. And whenever you can look up eBay, Deluxe Ninjor, and how many of those results are not going to have the sword in them? How many? Like, it can transform, and it's got everything except the sword. Like, it might have the scabbard, it might have the cover for the sword, but the actual weapon itself, no, it won't have that. So they've got one of those. Actually, they've got a ton of things. Like I said, I could easily walk out of that store with half the stuff they have, including a lot of the Lego, too. My Little Pony, Monster Girl... No, it's not Monster Girl. Not Monster Musume. It's what do they call it? Monster High. That's what I was thinking of. It's dolls of, like, Frankenstein as a teenage girl going to high school. You know, that kind of thing. So anyways, I went there yesterday. I only had about 10 minutes to spare, which really sucks because, like, I go in there to just hang out and talk to the guys, talk to the owners, the employees, and just hang out and, oh, I want one of these. Oh, I want one of those. Oh, you guys have that. And do that for like an hour, which is great, which is very much time well spent in my opinion. But I only had 10 minutes, and it's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I found something more expensive than when it came out, undoubtedly. But not necessarily high on my list of priority purchases. Like, I wanted it, but just kind of, I'm kind of good at this point. Like, nothing lost. I'm not going to regret if I don't get it. I'll keep an eye open for it if it comes along at a reasonable price, or if it just so happens to pop up right in front of me at a really convenient secondhand store. You know, why not? Well, stop wasting time, man. I'll just, like, get to it. I'm picking up, I'm going to drop. Why'd you keep it in the bag? I picked up the Beetle Battle Base from Big Bad Beetleborgs. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Yeah, let's see, I'm going to get this out of here. You know, Ava, maybe if you'd cut that off before you started this whole thing, you wouldn't have to worry about the tag showing how much it cost. Gone. Now you'll never know how much it cost me. So yes, the Beetle Battle Base is mine. It's a little smaller than I thought it would be. I'll be honest, it's a little smaller than I thought it would be. The way they portray it in the show it rises up out of the ground, and then there's another shot where you kind of see it. Let's see. I can't see my camera. You'll see it turn around on camera like this. So I was like, okay, maybe the rising out of the ground thing, that didn't happen in B Fighter, which is the Japanese version. You know, that didn't happen in B Fighter, but what the hell? Okay, right. That's my headset rotting away. There's stuff falling in my ear, because why not? Yeah, it doesn't rise out of the ground in the Japanese version, but I was like, okay, so the base, the foundation itself actually turns. Well, actually, no, it doesn't turn. Now, just because of the way it's designed, this pops off, so you can turn it to the side, but like it doesn't, it won't rest evenly. It doesn't fit very well. So it turns out, I guess it's just the. Okay, what direction does this go? Okay, so it just turns out that the way it was shot in Japan, it's just the camera is moving to the side. It's not that the whole base kind of turns to face a convenient direction and then they take off. So that's something I didn't know. So I was like, okay, I thought it turned, it didn't. So you know, that's kind of. Why is there a big old hole in the back here? I don't know why that's in there. Like an air hole or something, like ventilation or something. I don't know. Okay. I don't remember what this is called in Japan, but I'm fairly certain that this is the U.S. version. Now it was indeed released in the U.S. Now, when I bought it, it said that it was that included everything. I thought it did. It turns out there's a little antenna that usually sticks out the top, or actually you can see the mounting point for it is these two little holes right here. It turns out that the tower is missing. It's just a little antenna. It stands about, I don't know, about that big, and I think it's either chrome or it's just plain, you know, PVC, something like that. I'd have to double check. So that's missing, but I mean, really, that's the only thing other than the base, other than the foot pads, I guess. That's the only thing that's missing that was really, you know, could really disconnect. So, I'm not. That's certainly not a deal breaker. I've never seen one of these in person, out of the box. I think I actually did see it when it was like in the box. So I saw the boxes like Toys R Us, KB Toys, rest in peace, Walmart, Kmart, things like that. But I never, I never had it in hand. So, whatever. I suppose you want to see how functional it is. Well, you've already, no, actually you didn't see this. You take this off. And there's a little red striker AV. That's what it's called. Now I got to set this down. I need to show you something. It's actually nice. The reflection is real. Nice detailing. And the turbofans do turn. Friction's really tight on here. That might just be from age. I'm not certain, but unlike the real Red Striker AV, this one the turbines do not turn on this. So they the turbines move back and forth, but the little fan blades on the inside, those don't turn. 1997, Bandai, made in China. Oh, the front wheel is the little yeah, the wheel is also missing. So don't need it. What's he using an electric screwdriver for? Or a drill? What on earth? It's 8 p.m. What's he... Okay. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I actually have the original Japanese version. This is Red Gyro. And you can see it's about... It's not half size, it's more like 2/3 the size of the official deluxe sized version. Now this is the Japanese version. So it comes with die-cast metal. I want to say the original, I want to say the Beetleborgs version, which was the Red Striker, that came. It also had chrome, but it didn't have die-cast metal. So, you know, whatever. But this, all that this can do is it can roll, and the turbines can turn. So it doesn't open up on the top. So whatever. Stick that in there for now. I'm gonna take this and get that out of here. So yeah, and that's, I guess I might as well just say it while it's here. That's kind of the disappointing part, is that you couldn't, the Beetle Battle Base, or whatever it was called in Japan, wasn't in scale with these. This is actually what's referred to as a mini PLA, which means it's smaller than DX. It's smaller than Deluxe. And I suppose that's, and you know, when I first, you know, heard about this, and you can take the vehicles out of it, and the vehicles look exactly the same. Well, I didn't know the details at the time. It turns out it's actually about 2/3 scale. I don't know if Bandai ever prototyped a full-sized base. I don't know. In Japan, I don't know if they prototyped a full-size version. If you're a B-Fighter, Juko B-Fighter, Juko B-Fighter fan, please let me know if they prototyped a full-size DX version of this. Because, like, I want to take this and stick it in there. And no, you cannot take this and stick it in there. There's not enough room. So, unfortunately. So, there's that. Let's see, there's a little tab on the top here. You fold this down, and then there's a, where is it? There it is. There's a little ramp. You slide that out. You let it drop down. There's 4 tab clips that securely hold. I want to say, was this Green Hunter, Green Stinger? No, that's, I can't remember what this one is called. And this one ratchets. What is she doing now? Because the original version, you could lift up, or there was a little toggle on the back. The thing would bounce upwards a little bit, and then it would turn easily. Green Hunter AV. And the claws do open and close just a little bit. Claws open and close. The back does not open up. And the treads are not made of rubber. However, the hubcaps, as I understand it, the hubcaps were originally on a tree that you had to apply them to. So I'm kind of glad that those are there. So there's that. And you just slip it on like so. You do have to turn it to the side. Getting the ramp back up is actually a bit of a pain. It's got this weird tilt to it I'm a bit unfamiliar with. And it just click. And it won't come out unless you release this little tab up here. So that is that. And then finally, well, what's this? Oh! I totally didn't notice that. On the side here, there's a knob. Wait. Oh! Cool! I didn't know that. Okay. Alright. So there's a tab at the top here. You flip this down. And I just discovered, seconds ago, you turn this. Oh! Oh, almost. And the ramp moves. See, how well is that coming across? I don't know. Let's see. There we go. That's a little better. It's a little dark in there, but yeah, I didn't know that had a ramp on it, or that could lift. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Whatever. And by the way, just in case you missed it, it also comes with the Blue Stinger, which unfortunately has had all of the majority of the chrome on this has been scuffed off from use or whatever it is. So unless it's supposed to glow, no, it's not. Okay. So yeah, it is secondhand, so you know that's going to happen. But the majority of the chrome, or yeah, at least the chrome on the top has just popped off over time. Oh wow. And it is not made of metal. But it was made in 1997. The wheels, there's a rod going through between the wheels, and each of them Each of them turns in tandem, so these two turn, but it doesn't have the shock absorber. It doesn't have the traction, not traction, suspension. It doesn't have the suspension ability that the original Blue Stinger did. But the horn can tilt up a little bit, and it can very much droop downwards. I don't know why they just... Oops. Okay, maybe it's not supposed to droop that far down. It droops up a little bit. None of the cockpits can open on any of these. And I don't know if all the decals are gone. It's weird, some of the things they put decals on, like there's a headlight right here, and then there's a little black window detail right there. Those are both things, and then there's, well, over on this side, there's a surviving decal. It has a little light right there. It's like a turn signal light or something like that. Those are all three examples of things that could easily have been just painted on originally, and for whatever reason they went with decals. So, whatever. And then a little extra documented goodie. Maybe I shouldn't hide the Hunter just yet. Where is it? I told you earlier that the doors do not open, but they do come with a little accessory things. I wonder why it is that the what's it called? The Red Striker. I have to look at the names because I've kind of memorized the Japanese names at this point. But the Red Striker didn't come with a an accessory thing. Like, yeah, it had the little grappling claw on it, and you could turn the things and okay, whatever. But for whatever reason, it did not come with a it didn't come with a little accessory clip-on thing. There's two holes. There's a hole in either of the claw thingies. Are these synced together? Oh, they are. They're geared together. Huh. But it's really hard to move them, so it's a good bet that those are gonna... Anyways, there's two pegs on the underside. You just peg them in like that. And then you have the drill bit accessory, which is all chrome, which has a single decal on it, which, you cannot turn those, and it's very hollow underneath. I guess I have to turn this like this. So yes, I picked up the Beetle Battle Base, and with the exception of a single missing control tower and a little bit of chrome that's been shreked a bit, secondhand use, whatever, I'm satisfied. I am pleased. Yes. Oh, and it also has a little ramp function I totally didn't know about. Some of these decals are just missing enough, and the chrome on here is pretty missing. I wonder if I shouldn't send this off to somebody and see if they can repaint it for me. Does this latch? I don't think so. No, if it's got a ramp, it doesn't latch. What are you talking about, Ava? Close that peg's right there. I mentioned in a previous unboxing, which ironically was not published, that I wish that Super Sentai would return to a big base like this. They used to do that, and I kind of want them to do it again. Like, it doesn't have to have turrets on that. Why on earth did they put a decal up there? This is a big old black spot on the top here, and those are decals. There's actually two decals. Why on earth why didn't they just paint it? I don't get it. Weird. There's a ton of decals. This has got 1, 2, 3 decals there. There's one here. There's 2 decals. 1, 2, 4 decals. I'm sorry, there's another big one over here. It's a single decal there. We got 1, 2 decals there. Yeah, so this thing is covered in decals. But again, as I was saying, I wish this had... I wish that Super Sentai would make a base again. I kind of like that. And not a mini plot base and not a play set. I want an actual base. It doesn't have to transform. It doesn't even have to fly. I just want, the kind of the secret underground base. I mean, they've been doing that forever. But on the other hand, the flying fortresses and the transforming bases. The last transforming base we had was Deca Base Robo. That was in 2004. Here it is, almost 2017. They still haven't done it. Now, to be fair, the new Super Sentai is like JE Fusion freaked out earlier today. They're like, "Oh my God, we've got rumors are spreading, and it's about bloody time because it's December, and usually we get this information late October about the 41st Super Sentai series." By the way, was Juoger even an anniversary series other than the movie? Like, freaking Juoger, like, just, cubes. What do cubes have to do with the 40th anniversary? Nothing. Just, it exists. I don't get it. So yeah, I want Super Sentai to make another base. That would be appropriate. That would be nice. And like I said, it doesn't have to transform into a robot. If it's a spaceship or a flying fortress of some kind, that's okay. That's all well and good. If it rolls around on the ground, it's too heavy to pick up. Okay, fine. That's not going to bother me because that's what they always did. Just have it, and don't just have it like a flat platform with an air control tower. And then you just set them down on top, and that's it. Like they did in Car Ranger, it's just kind of an open framework of a play set. There's a crane, and then there's a couple of platforms. You just set the car mecha, or car, what are they called? The car magic vehicles on top of it, and then that's it. And then you take the RV sword and you just stick it off to the side. Like, that's not good enough. Or, was it Jewland? The playset that was released in 2016. It was just a bunch of cubes that opened up into an open framework that you don't even see in the show. It's not in the show. It's just it exists. Like, or the worst of the worst, in my opinion, which was when Bokinger, they had their base. It was essentially a cardboard briefcase. It was just not a cube, but it was a rectangular box. You open up one side, and there's a cardboard ramp. There was printed, not decals, but there was like printed designs on it. And that was offensive. Like, that's nowhere near what we saw in the show. I actually really like the maintenance bay that they had for all the Go-Go vehicles. That was awesome because it's multi-layered and they're all just kind of stacked in different locations, and each of the vehicles had a numbered bay that could be closed off. I was like, oh my God, I wish Super Sentai I wish that Bandai and Plex had made that. Like, that would have been cool. But no, we got the briefcase thing. Not even the not attaché case. That was attaché case was that was for Goanger. I can't think of the suitcase that they used in Bokinger. It's oh my gosh, it's been, oh my God, Bokinger is 10 years old. I just realized 2006 to 2016. Holy shit, where's the time go? Good Lord, I was going on about Magi Ranger being 10 years old. Magi Ranger is 11, Bokinger is 10. Where's the time go? What even? So yeah. Not bad. Not bad. I'm glad I have it. Does it piss me off that it's the Beetle Battle Base as opposed to the Juko Kirin or whatever it's called? No. No, because they're pretty much, I mean, this is at the time, I mean, other than, I think this decal right here, which says Beetle Base. I'm sorry, it says Beetle Borgs. My bad. It says Beetle Borgs. Other than that, I think that is the only thing that was changed on this whole thing. That was it. That's all that was changed. And beyond that, I'm good. This comes from the era when Bandai of America was still importing stuff. This comes from '97. They didn't start not importing until 2007. When Operation Overdrive, that's when they just flat out stopped importing everything. So, I don't think they imported the Daiboken. I don't think they imported that. So, why did I bring that up? Yeah, I want a new base. So, I like that I have this. I think the B-Fighter Kabuto, which is the sequel series to this, which is Beetleborgs Metallics, I think their base, they had a base as well. It might have been a mini-pla toy. I'm not certain. As I'm recording this, I don't remember. So I would have to look that up. So nice, simple, nothing particularly special. Like I said, I've got it, so yay, whatever. It's kind of a big, boring thing in the back there. Now that I think about it, I kind of wish that Gargantus would be able to hook up to this thing or something. Although Gargantus is a lot heavier than this is too. But I wish they'd had like a mini Pla Gargantus. Maybe have actually have the whole. Now that I'm thinking about it, here it is. 14 years later, Jesus. No, let's see. For 20. Beetleborgs is 20 years old? 2007, 20... Oh my god, Beetleborgs is 20 years old. Jesus. Okay. And B-Fighter Kabuto... Or no, I'm sorry, Juko B-Fighter is 21 years old. Almost 22. Oh my god. What even? Okay. So if Gargantus, or... something Hercules. I've got it. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head. I wish that the base, that this actually had turned around. Actually, like the foundation had actually, I wish that it had rotated on the spot and then just had this massive door opens up and he just crawls off. I wish I'd done that. Because there's an awful lot of space in there for the blue stinger. There's a lot of unnecessary... There's a lot of open air on the inside. Like, I still don't know what this hole on the back here is for. That's strange. But yeah, turns out I'm about 20 years too late to be complaining about that one. Still, I'm quite satisfied with what I've got here. No, it's not deluxe size like I'd want, but still, I'm glad they... This is 2/3 the size of deluxe, so... Okay, I can live with that. Close enough. That was a nice short 33-minute long unboxing. My other unboxing is, which I actually did first, which I actually started earlier this week. I started it on Monday. It's a lot more complicated. It's a lot more fragile. It's an actual collector's thing. And I'm still only about halfway done recording it, and what I've recorded so far, unedited. If I just slapped it into the editing program and did no edits whatsoever, it's running 3.5 hours, and I'm only half done. Like, I've actually done the figure itself. Now I gotta review all the accessories. I'm kind of at that point. Why am I talking about another unboxing when I did this one? Okay, I'm kind of at a point where it's kind of the same thing that happened with the Ultimate Edition or Premium Edition Optimus Prime that I unboxed. I actually did like a 2.5 hour unboxing of that thing, where I was talking and my initial reactions and things like that. But then when I started editing, I was like, this thing's just way too long, and it just kind of drags out and out and out and out. Even by my standards, I wouldn't hang around for 2 hours and watch the thing. So what I did instead is I just, here it is in my hands, and, isn't this thing awesome, and here's what I think of it, and blah, 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 and I'll set it down. This is Avian 40 saying thanks for tuning in. I'm kind of reaching the point, fuck it. I'm at the point where, should I just do an overview and not even finish the unboxing? Should I just open up all the stuff and then give my 2 cents about it on webcam here? Or should I just keep going with it? I mean, I'm only getting an average 200 or 300 views on a lot of these unboxings, and half hour, 45 minutes, hour. Should I do and unbox. Should I continue? Because right now, unedited, it's 3.5 hours long. I can only cut that down so much. Because there's a lot of things that need to be said, and I want to make certain that I explain myself clearly. All right. I brought it up. Do you want... Okay. Here's your homework for the evening. Do you want me to continue with the unboxing, edit down, and then you are willing to watch it or run it in the background because white noise for 3.5, 4 hours edited? Or do you want me to just open up everything, it doesn't matter, and then just do an overview? Like, here it is, and this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Kind of a mini unboxing review on webcam. So there you go. Do you want me to just open everything up and just whatever, and then come back and do a webcam review? Or do you want me to continue shooting the unboxing for this thing? It's not that anything's broken. It's not that anything is missing. It's not that anything is, there are no technical difficulties. It's just, it's taking forever to review. So please let me know in the comments. I do appreciate that. I want that feedback. 37 minutes. Yay. This is AV Unit 4A saying thanks for tuning in.